So we're looking for a finale.
Stop! 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 Please let me go! Please let me go first! I'm doing something!
I literally think this is gonna break Magic Online. Please, Spike. Oh no, I don't have where's my, oh, I already have this other one in play. I like actually think it's not gonna work. I don't think Magic Online can resolve this trigger.
Hi, can I take your order?
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.
Okay, that'll be $680.
Like it takes like 30 seconds to resolve with 3 manufacturers in a Took, so what it should take like 9 minutes to resolve.
A few moments later.
We have to give it some time. So with one less manufactor, it takes like 30 seconds to resolve. So it's gonna if it's gonna resolve, we're gonna have to give it some time. Yeah! Yes! Yes! We did it! Yeah! I know I'm a content creator, I'm a streamer, I'm the e-boy, I'm the YouTuber. I have to... Come on guys to our Pro Tour watch party! I just can't, you know what I mean? I just can't do it. Are playing version 2.0 of Knight of the Sweet's Revenge, a card that I thought would be pretty good in initial sets evaluation, one that I think was maybe a bit surprising to some people that this was one of my #1 picks from the set. But it has, despite my initial optimism about the card, overperformed. Not only we played it last week and it looked really, really strong, but we were also in between rounds of yesterday's RCQ online, brewing this list, working on it, and the card is just really, really crazy. And the shell gets out of control really quickly, and it is kind of just like the better Urza. It is just the better Urza. The fact that this kind of affects turning your artifacts into Mox Emeralds this time instead of Mox Sapphires. One is like much better in green because you can get Gingerbread Cabin to turn these into to fetch up a Mox Emerald. You know, we actually used to play an Urza deck with Gingerbread Cabin, and like the double blue and like the all green deck was always a little weird, but like that extra artifact was this is like pre-Urza Saga. Pre MH2, but it was kind of an interesting build. But the fact that this effect is just it's a similar effect, not on a creature. The fact that it's on an enchantment instead of a creature makes it much more resilient, and the like activated ability I think is a lot stronger too. This like this 7-man ability just ends the game immediately most of the time, compared to Urza's ability, which just kind of like dirtles and does nothing. So our first draft we had was pretty similar to this, but we were playing Scrapwork Mutt plus Standard Steelseeker. I think you should not play one of those two cards without the other. I think Steelseeker is a very good card. But you have to play both. You really cannot just play one of those two effects. And I was really interested in trying out mini partings, and instead, this was a card that I was liking a lot in our testing on Saturday. This is 1 mana, search the library for a basic, put it in your hand, and then make a food token. So it reminds me a lot of Aether Harvest, the 1 mana, search for a basic land, make 2 energy from standard. Obviously, like, you know, that card, I mean, energy is just not very good in modern, but food is pretty good. This is almost a 1 mana 2 for 1. It's like a 1 mana 1.5 for 1. Kind of hard to evaluate, but just getting getting those extra food in play early for your so when you play Knight of the Sweet's Revenge, just a bit better is nice, and also just having. This is something I didn't really realize, is that you have a lot of turns where you have like a manufactor and a Took in play, and you're drawing a lot of cards, and these like 1 mana make a food effects, just like if you have 2 manufactors in play and you're like cracking your clues for mana, you draw a Gilded Goose or mini partings, boom, all of a sudden you have 9 more mana because you have Knight of Sweet's Revenge and you have a clue token. Like, you really want to be able to draw into these effects when you're going off. And then I also really wanted to play Ring in the deck too, where This is a combo deck. The way I put in the title that this deck kind of defies archetypes, which I think is true. It's kind of hard to identify exactly what this deck is, and it's very weird to call this deck a combo deck because it doesn't have an infinite combo. But it really is. Like, when you're going off of this deck, you are going to draw your entire library and you're going to attack for like 50. It's also very exciting that like one of this deck's win conditions, besides the Knight of Sweet's Revenge activated ability, is Finale of Devastation X equals 10. Like, actually, like, putting a big, giant, hasty creature into play and pumping the rest of your team is legitimately how this deck combos off. You make, like, 30 mana, and then you cast this, and you just win the game. So a lot of times you get a Flying Gilded Goose. And it's really exciting, because this is a card that you really already want to play in the Asmo deck, and now you get to make full use of the card, every piece of the Buffalo. But I was really interested in playing the Ring, where just being able to like play a powerful card draw spell after getting efficiently 1-for-1 is important, and also just buying that extra turn, assembling some more pieces has been a really big deal too. One glaring issue I think this deck has is that it has kind of a weak Tron matchup, which is why we're playing 4 Assassin's Trophies on the board. And what's cool about Trophy is that it kills a Tron land and can kill Karn. We consider Beast Within instead, but just that 2 mana is so important. Deck's been good though. I'm really excited about it. This deck is it's sweet. It has crazy turns, and I don't know. I'm very excited about it. But I go with the 2 years. Happy anniversary. Welcome back. How do you find the want to be sideboarding Veil of Summers at the moment? Not sure if I'm supposed to go for Stirrings or Mini Partings turn 1. Yeah, I'm not playing any Besagers because we are a Gingerbread Cabin deck. We really, really want every land that's not Urza Saga to be a forest, so we can get that turn 4 cabin as consistently as possible, or turn 5 if you've played it Urza Saga. I'm gonna lead on Stirrings. Let's just see how this. So I hypogeometric calculated it this morning. I believe we're like almost 98% to hit on our Stirrings. It's like we're a little bit more than 2% to brick, and I thought that was okay. Of course, I'm really just being punished for actually doing the numbers this morning. Break the Ice is not castable in this deck. We have a black splash instead of being a true green-black deck. You are gonna almost never have double black on turn 2. Yeah, the Stirrings are kind of experimental too. I like them. I think it's like you can either play like the Stirrings or you can play more lands, and I think that it's gonna help with some mana flood games. The fancy token calculator that for those who want to play this paper. I mean, I don't have a I just know how many tokens everything makes. Not sure what a fancy token calculator would even be like for this. It's a good draw. See if they're binding this. Yeah, I think Trophy is better than Besage because it also can kill Karn, which is a big problem. The fact that it does both gets them off Tron and can kill Karn is, I think, makes it better. Especially because we mostly just want it for that matchup, I love to have Confectioner in here too. Yeah, so Confectioner is very weird, where it is a food card that goes infinite with a card that we're already playing. You would think it would be a no-brainer. The problem is this deck just does not have problems going over the top and winning. This deck does not have issues comboing off. This deck is already a combo deck, just not an infinite combo deck. Although Confectioner combo is also not actually infinite. Just like you make like 90 tokens. So it's like you know, I don't think actually don't think it fits in this build. I do have a different build that's more focused on enabling the combo, and I had kind of expected to have played that deck by now. The problem is Knight of Sweet's Revenge is just so good and just combos so well. So I still do want to get around to that build. I still need to give it its, you know, due diligence, but that is my current issue with that combo. I think I'm just ignoring Rin and 6. Would it be possible to play this replacing rings? I mean, possible. We played a version without rings last week, but it's very hard to, like, you know, give budget replacements for a deck that I am 2 days into playing, you know? What do you mean it's not infinite? Is nothing in Magic is infinite? Well, Confectioneer combo is restricted to the number of cards in your library because you have to draw 3 cards with their Peregrin Took. So the Confectioner combo makes like 90 rats, but if they just have a sweeper, like, you kind of can't... It's kind of hard to combo twice in the same game, is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so we really need to draw a Manufactor, One Ring, or Took. I do expect my opponent to Solitude or Binding this construct and draw a card. What do you think of Beanstalk versus Halfling in 4-color? Is that the cut? They're cutting the Halfling? I guess that makes sense. I think it seems fine. You have lethal next turn? I hate this new meme. My opponent, I do not have lethal. My opponent is going to kill this construct. There's no world where they don't kill the construct. Finale. Can I finale for 10? So I tap Saga, I get a cookbook. I'll have 7 foods. So I have 8 foods. Am I 1 short? I think I'm... No, because the knight makes a token too. I have exactly enough. So we should get Peregrin Took, I think, so we can draw some cards too. And I guess the problem with Took is that it's only attacking for 12. I mean, I'm not gonna get an Asmo here though. Oh no, this is X equals 8. Fuck. Sorry, I have 10 mana, but I don't have enough. So I was supposed to just finale for 3. Okay, I just need to pass. Darn. Maybe I still need the finale for 3. Let's just attack and let them exile this. I'm a bit worried about them removing my Knight of Sweet's Revenge. I think we'll just pass. They've already now they've used 2 bindings, so it's a lot less likely they can remove this. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why we need 12 mana, not 10. Oops. We'll have it next turn, though. How did Scales feel? Scales is a great deck, you know. We lost to Tron, which is a really hard matchup, and we lost to a really crazy Rhinos draw that was just, like, very unbeatable. That'll happen. So I think I do think we're supposed to be getting Took in these spots because the draw is 0 mana. Although if we get Manufactor instead, then we get to keep our foods around because we're drawing into clues. It's actually kind of an interesting debate. I do think we're ahead if they don't kill my Knight of Sweet's Revenge, which is crazy to say. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this deck is wild where like I actually just feel like I'm ahead. In these kind of games where my opponent has drawn 2 cards off Beanstalk, has 7 cards in hand, has a 6 loyalty, Ren and 6, has a 1 ring. I just actually feel like I'm winning this game. We're not going to be winning this game this turn because they have protection from everything. But that's okay. I already answered, Logo. If you go click on this Moxfield link, you can go to my Moxfield profile, and all the deck lists I play are in there. Oh, sorry. I made this mistake before. I'm not supposed to be tapping the second cookbook here. I'm supposed to be digging for another manufactor first. Not that it's a big problem. Yeah. We've floated the idea of playing a questing beast for these kind of spots. My kind of issue with that plan is that it doesn't actually seem like it's difficult to win from these spots. Does that make sense? Like I have not yet had like you just outvalue them and then win the next turn, or win the first turn that they don't play a ring. I guess maybe we still don't play the goose yet. I will agree that finding that line of when it's right to stop, when it's right to like sack a clue. I think that I was down to like 6 foods. We'll just sack a clue. But finding the line of like when to continue and when to stop has been a little ambiguous. Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of these decks. I feel like I've never hit a limit on the tokens. Also, we haven't like hit one this game, but I will say that it's these kind of games I'm really happy to... Yeah, there it is. To have so many copies of mini partings. Okay, I think. Sorry, I know I've been kind of messing up the sequencing. I need to just be digging for a manufactor before I play any more food. There's just not a reason to not, I think. Okay, so I have 5 mana, so I can... I guess I'll just sack with Took one more time. Okay, so it seems like we're not going to find one yet. In the library a little bit. And this is kind of what I was talking about. Having the mini partings, just having a lot of 1 mana cards that make food on these kind of turns where you're going off. This is really how you just draw your entire library, or effectively draw your entire library. I do just want to draw a second manufactor and have the biggest board you've ever seen in your entire life. Surely it's in here somewhere. We drew the other 2 Tooks before a second manufactor. The thing is, we could just keep going, so if we have somewhat reasonable luck. We all can also fetch for a cabin. Oh my gosh, I meant to class the cookbook, not play the Saga. I guess it's... At least I didn't misclick on a forest. How consistent could draw our library? Very. I think in this spot it's very easy to draw our whole library. We could brick, but I think it's unlikely. Please don't suggest Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, the fact that I didn't get to play my cabin here is tough. Although, I guess I've also forgotten this part of the combo, is that just drawing other copy of Knight of Sweet's Revenge, you just have 4 mana, make a food token, which is actually a good... It's actually mana positive in these kind of situations. Funny enough. I'm gonna draw one more. Wait, can I even? I guess I can't even. I can't make another food, so. Maybe I just don't even play the second night. Very weird game. Let's play it. I think having. No, I should have a backup. I should just have a backup here. Obviously torn. Okay, we'll pass. We got a little unlucky not to draw a Manufactor that deep into the deck. But that's okay. At this point, 1,000 Oracle. Yeah, I can't deal with this every single time. I get so excited when I have a deck like this where one of your combo pieces is Finale of Devastation. Your best turn to play is also your game ender. Your mana generation is your game ender. I know you can't like win through a ring, but I think that that's okay. And then all of the geniuses in the chat always go, let's play a Thassa's Oracle. Let's just play a Thassa's Oracle. It's just so unnecessary. And it just happens every single time we play a deck like this. Spike, have you considered a Thassa's Oracle? So I should have also sacked a clue already. It is also so funny, like, my opponent has lost the game. My opponent who has furied me twice here has lost the game because they didn't play another ring. The game is over at this moment. Yeah, one questing beast would also like help solve the ring issue for sure. It's unlikely that they would have the patience to hold a solitude for the questing beast in most situations. Rock and roll to 31 months. Thank you. But yeah, it's also like we've been in this spot a few times in testing. Winning the game has also still just not been a problem. It's like, I know that it seems like it might be a problem because you're used to being behind in these spots, but their deck just doesn't do enough. Their deck literally just doesn't do enough. It's crazy. We do only have 2 finales left. We'll have to draw a finale to win the game at some point, but should be pretty easy. We'll save it so we can give a lot of things haste. I found no third binding. Just tap Sacred Foundry. Other mini partings is okay. So we have 3 Manufactors left in the deck. We have 2 Finales. We have 4 Asmos in the deck. 4 Asmos in the deck, although no cookbooks left, which is kind of funny. There's a Manufactor. So let's just draw 2. Cool. All these for green. Maybe I should have led on Took actually, because I have 2 Tooks and only 1 Manufactor. Seems to not likely be an issue. You ever put 6 game objects into play with 1 fetch land? How to start? Let's go ahead and draw a card off the Took. We found an Asmo. I would really like to find I would like to find the 3rd Manufactor. Maybe it's just not. I mean, I need to be drawing cards anyways. I just need to be drawing cards anyways, so I don't need to be making food in this process of drawing cards because I could find a 3rd Manufactor to go really crazy. In fact, I have 2 left out of 16 cards. I'm even pretty likely to find one any second now. I think I'll even One more before making another food. Take a quick look at the library. 2 Manufactor, 2 Finale, 6 game objects. 4 of them. 4 of them make mana. We'll tap 2 of them for mana. For 0 mana, draw a card. The manufacturers are hiding. Sack a clue. Okay. I also haven't drawn a finale, which I could finale for a manufactor too. We still should be pretty fine. As I keep saying, less and less sure each time. Okay, so because I have to make a food before I do something else, just make one down. Just buy one back from my graveyard with a cookbook? I don't think that that's correct. Like, the cookbook is worth so much. I know I've bricked this much. Maybe it was correct, but like to only have 2 copies in the top 51 cards of my library seems unlikely. Okay, 2 in 9 chance. There we go. Would it be game over if you just get it? Yeah, maybe. I mean, it also seems like we could never brick this with this line. I think figuring out the proper sequencing with this deck is just going to take forever. It is just going to take actual forever to figure out like how you're best supposed to sequence in these kind of games. Like even here, I think I'm supposed to just try to find the 4th one. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe just cookbook back. Okay, I'll just. But like, am I supposed to? Am I just supposed to float mana and then wait to cookbook back? It just seems so tough to know for sure what we're doing. We also haven't drawn either of our finales. This also may break Magic Online. Wait, this is game 1? Fuck! Fuck! Oh no, I haven't timed out in so long. I'm just trying. What have I done? Come on. No, fuck. I still don't have a finale. It's broken. It literally can't resolve the trigger. Okay. So let's not let's not do that again. This will probably be enough. Where are my clues? Okay, there's a clue. I need a finale. I have 2 finales left in my 6 cards in library. There we go. So play an Asmo first. Yeah, we could also get the 4th Manufactor and tap the cookbook and just see what happens. Let's not. Okay, just trying to get this over with as quickly as possible. We'll have to play quickly the rest of this match. Fuck. Oh no, I got it. No! Oh my gosh, I was not supposed to get Goose. No. I thought by clicking Goose I was doing this quicker. Took less. It's all the same. Any order is exactly the same. Average first game of the week on twitch.tv/aspiringspike. Yeah, I don't... do I have time to screenshot? My opponent is not doing anything. I guess they're just F6. I guess they just F6'd and left. Who can blame them? Into concession. Oh, man. Average first game. Oh. Okay. So I wanted to bring in... I think I've just been bringing in the Haywire Mite and cutting like the 4th Daredevil in this matchup, and I don't know that I want the Needle or not. Let's not. I think the matchup is just generally pretty good. I think that's a good example of how the matchup plays out. Your 4-color Omnath does their thing. They interact with you, but you just go way over the top of them. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, actually play fast. Unlike usual. Runs on a mulligan to 6. Yeah, I know 3 stirrings is weird, but if you go down on stirrings, you're kind of like, your chance to hit on stirrings goes down too, which is kind of the main reason why I'm not. Hong Kong. Prediction for the timeout. I won't time out. It'll be fine. In fact, I would even... We could do a prediction. Does my opponent go lower on time than me this game? If a mod wants to set that up, I can't. But I'm in fast mode. I know I typically play pretty fast. I'm capable of playing much faster than I usually do. But if a mod wants to set up... Will my opponent go lower on time than me? I actually think that there's a chance. You simply just think about what you're going to do while your opponent is taking their time. That's kind of a fun challenge. I don't think it's necessarily likely, but I do want to try. I do think I need a land. Could have seen maybe getting something else. I am gaining time on my opponent, right? My opponent who's done nothing but cast a red and 6 and fetch. I'm literally gaining time on them. So funny. I was really hoping to draw a fetch land or a cabin, although I don't have that many fetch lands in this build. Yeah, there's a problem that I beat my opponent before the clock. So again, it's kind of a long shot prediction. Like, it's kind of a ridiculous challenge to gain 6 minutes back in a game like this where I'm taking all the game actions. I think I've gained like maybe 30 to 40 seconds on my opponent. You know, not a ton, but I have gained some. In these spots, please do not tap your cookbook. And let's not kill the Solitude with Asmo because I want the mana from Sweet's Revenge more than I want a dead Solitude here. Maybe we'll draw a card end of turn. Might have lethal next turn if I don't. Yeah, I have Xaxes. Or not Xaxes, I have exactly enough to play Knight and activate it if I don't, so it's not, I guess. I feel like they'll also never see that I have enough. It's so invisible. Oh. Fuck a decision. I think I just do this. I don't know how they win. Oh fuck, only has a sorcery. Okay, but I have another one in my hand though. Another cabin. So now I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. 6 plus 10, which is 1 short. So but I can go at the very least. Oh shit, I should have played. Sorry, I'm playing too fast. Just set up for next turn. Draw 1 card. Can't cast that, but maybe we'll cast it if I had the mana. Don't play Troll King in these builds. You don't need it. Just concedes, dude. Just concedes. Well, we didn't gain on our opponent, but finished with 7 minutes on the clock. After finishing game 1 with 10 minutes is fun. The ring makes sense. Like, obviously in these games where our stuff just sticks, the ring looks like it's not necessary, but you're just not going to have these kind of games often enough for you to want to, like, just not play ring, I think. Like, the ring is the best in the games where your opponent, where like, you're doing the worst, where you have to buy a time. We did work on the rat deck. We were working on it on stream. It just looks so awful, y'all. I don't know. It just looks like so completely unplayable. I don't know that we're gonna play it. Like at this point, I don't really want to. Is being control in contention for League? Yeah, it's in contention. I don't think it's a very good choice for what I predict the metagame will be, though, for my pod. I need to really sit down. Maybe I'll talk to Everos about it. Although, no, my deck list is due before our stream. But I feel like I've got a good read for like the level 1 decks that everyone will play, but they'll probably just play something else, and then I'll feel down for metagaming. Now's the 5 months. Thank you. Like the Lord Skitter's Butcher? No. Again, it also has the problem that all of the good rats are 3 mana. That one's the worst 3 mana rat you could play between the Broken Lord, Lord Skitter, and then the ninja that casts rats from the graveyard. Like those are the good ones. Those are the good. Maybe I should say like those are the good ones. You know what I mean? Like those are your high quality rats. And like just to play another 3-drop that's worse than those is awkward. Is it worth putting in experiments or confectioneer as a finale target? I don't think so, because when you're finaleing X equals, if you're gonna finale X equals 3 and you already have a Took in play, you just get a Manufactor and you win that game every single time. You know what I mean? Like that game is gonna be so easy to win every single time that I don't think that you need that. Yeah, you also don't need a Mirkwood Bats. You just attack. This deck already attacks for hundreds. Man, good draw for my opponent. I guess it was maybe a little slow. Kind of surprised that they have Grief Scam. Maybe they just waited to use the Grief Scam and then they just drew the Ragavan. Is it not safer to play Book? It's better to kill Voidwalker, I think. Like killing Voidwalker is really important. I also like maybe discard Asmo to Book is fine. Do I want a Stirrings for a land? No, I don't think so. Tried this with Generation over many parting the tough Cody and 1 Took. Going down to 1 Took feels wild. Took has been so important. Int was good. Help cast Asmo Wrestling. Tough Cook has been. Yeah, so like, was Int better than mini partings though? Because like mini partings has been awesome. Like Int is better on like turn 2 if you have Asmo in your hand, but like mini partings is I think better every single other time. It is also like good with Asmo, so I don't think it makes a ton of sense. Could maybe have gone for the block here. The thing is, I think I can get these up to 9/9, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can get these up to 9/9 and just like eat it next turn. And that's if I don't draw a land for my cookbook, which makes them 10/10s at least. Does that do anything? I think we'll just stick with the plan. 1 Took, so still 2 Tooks. I see. Int feel like a card I wanted in basically every opening hand. I mean, I feel the same way about mini partings. Like they're very similar, right? They're very similar, but Generous Partings is better in like any hand that has Finale instead. Any hand that just doesn't have Asmo. mini partings is going to be better. Like full end of sentence. So I don't know. I was gonna make a joke about playing Night of Sweet Revenge and Asmo, but you beat me to the punch. I mean, the card's been phenomenally good. I can't overstate how crazy the card has been. It's like Urza, but a good card. I know it's like a 25-cent uncommon, but it's literally just if Urza was a good modern card. I think I'll play my cookbook rather than discard it to make a food. I just need the 9th power. And if they do kill a construct, I can still keep one at 9 power too, which is nice. Another Bowmaster. Man, their draw was really good. Do you test cutting down Asmo? Yeah, we did. We did it on stream too. Yeah, I know it is very funny that it's actually good. I'm like even like a little surprised. Okay, we're dead to a bolt off the top. Very cool that in these kind of games your opponent goes turn 2 Voidwalker, turn 3 Scam Ragavan, dash you, Bowmaster. We're still just like stable. Top deck Terminate is very bad for me. That being said, I am going to 1, not 0, but they get to hit me with Ragavan. But the Wicked Token, I have to chump block the Fury. Opponent, literally, how are we tanking on this? How are we ever tanking on this attack? Man, what a top deck. I mean, it's not as bad as Bolt, I guess, huh? Okay, so we go to 1, which is not 0. If I draw Asmo, we can survive because we don't have to kill the Fury yet. Oh my gosh, Finale for Asmo. Yes, we chump here, block here, kill 2 things. Holy shit. One good top deck deserves another, I suppose. We're still not in great shape. The stupid, annoying Wicked Token. It is good that we have one more cookbook to get. We'll probably be discarding it. Should go up to 5 foods. Yeah, we do need them to brick for a while. But I'm not sure if that's asking too much. I'm dead to an Undying effect. There's no way for me to play around it, so let's not worry too much about it. Jump with Construct. Well, I can trade this with the Construct. I can't chump. This is a 5/5, right? Like it's not. This trades and then they kill me. So they did brick this turn, but this next turn I can block and then hopefully draw Daredevil and keep my Construct. But I can sack a food and gain life, and I think I can't cast the Stirrings, because if I had all non-fetch lands, I would even have Cabin. Yeah, I just need to make sure I can gain life here. It is crazy that we're like very ahead if like this, if Not Dead After All is just any other Undying effect, like, you know, Feign Death. But it is, yeah, it is 1 extra damage. They're not attacking, so let's go ahead and gain that life. Looking for another Saga. Perfect. Yeah, this is the new Wicked Roll token. It gives it +1/+1, and then when it dies, I lose a life. New from Wilds of Eldraine. Okay, they have drawn 2 lands out of their last 3 draw steps, and I am very thankful to Clothis for this turn in Destiny. Crazy game to win, also, if we can beat this draw. What are the other 2 cards in sideboard? I thought I updated it because we had 2 cards, 2 Asmos. I guess I did not update it. We had 2 Asmos in that spot. Okay, so let's just block like this, and then I don't have like lightning bolts in my deck for them to hit off Ragavan, so I just get to wait and see if I'm sacking a food or if I'm sacking a clue. Although it is almost always going to be a food here, so I can just play around top deck bolt. It's annoying that they hit a relevant card here. So I need them to brick next turn. Don't have that many relevant cards. It's maybe the best hit. I guess we should mostly just be thankful to not be dead, and I'm happy to have drawn that too. Yeah, it's the second Nihil Spellbomb and Emrakul, the Aeons Torn. I did think I updated it, but because we had 2 Asmos in the sideboard. We were trying less Asmos because we don't have that many black sources, and we boarded them in every single time, of course. Yeah, it's up to date. Yeah, that is true. I mean, now killing the Daredevil doesn't matter as much because we drew 1, but it's relevant. So dead to a removal spell. I suppose we can play around Bowmasters by growing this before damage is dealt. Although maybe waiting on one of them to... I mean, we'll get this back. We'll get it back. It won't be tough to get it back. Down to 2, which is a lot more than 1 against an Orcish Bowmaster deck. They find a Manufactor, which is like relevant in their deck. Like they have Ragavan and they have Fable. That being said, they're probably chumping with it if I attack with my Construct. Okay. I mean, I think I'm going to be making a second Construct always here. I know I'm not getting the life, but... Oh, I don't have the 4th Cookbook anymore. So that, because I don't have the 4th Cookbook, my Constructs aren't lethal this turn. I guess now I can beat a top deck Terminate if by not attacking. Thoughts on the Cauldron Steel Overseer? Steel Overseer is not a playable card. Damn it. Dead. Very tough game. Very close game. There's just like just played the normal scales variant. Like Cauldron is good there. Don't play Steel Overseer sucks. Okay, not gonna sideboard super heavily here. You do really need to win game 1 because like some of their sideboard cards are really effective against you. Yeah, crazy game for sure. We were dead to a lot of top decks. We're bringing a Spellbomb and Ghost Stirrings, I think. It's like Cauldron's really good because it works with all the good cards. You don't need to play like the unplayable Steel Overseer. some good games today so far. Yeah, maybe we should have brought an Emrakul against the 4-color deck. I guess Emrakul could just be our out to infinite turns, or out to the ring. Yeah, we'll just bring in Emrakul against the Omnath deck, and then we'll just like, oh, so they have protection until the end of their turn, but then they get Annihilator 6. That's probably good enough. Oh dang! Only one of my headphones charged. It's the worst. Force of Vigor for Leyline Hearse. I don't know. Like, you just don't care that much about Graveyard Hate. Like, you're just okay saying, okay, my Daredevils don't work anymore. And then, instead of having, like, these cards. Like, you don't really need the Daredevils as for your deck to function. That's pretty good against Grief Scam. Oh, yeah, we can also Finale for Emrakul. That's true. Yeah, Scam has been playing. I mean, I haven't been like looking at lists super hard, but I've been getting hit at Sugud more often than I have been, so I think they're playing it more often, and that is bad for that is definitely bad for the food decks and for scales. Mosswood Dread Knight, I haven't mentioned my thoughts on the card. I like Mosswood Dread Knight. It's that and Experimental Confectioner are 2 cards from the new set I have not gotten around to cast yet. I want to cast them this week. We have a lot of like interesting stuff to work on. 7-card Grief Voidwalker. These hands are always tough to beat from any deck, really. Maybe people have been cutting. I've been getting it cast against me a lot, but I'm happy to hear it. Oh, I forgot the Goose activation. Oops. Do you have any indestructible choice? No. Like, it's just not reasonable to play like a Heroic Intervention, which is a really bad card, one you can't afford to hold up against Scam because they're so fast. They put so much pressure on you. You have to be putting permanents into play. You can't be holding up Heroic Intervention. And to play it for like a one of in Scam sideboard that they oftentimes just don't even play. It just doesn't make any sense. Man, this kind of draw from them though is just not very realistic to beat. We have Goose for black man. I think I can do this. Also, I will say this though: we would have probably won that game 1 if this was just a regular Undying card. We would have been able to keep our Asmo, and I think that game was actually just easily winnable. Unfortunately, let's do the explosives dance. Okay, they immediately did not fall for the explosives dance. Where I can yield the explosives. Slinger with the 19 months, thank you. So we'll see if they pop the explosives in response here. Oh, Asmo 0, fuck. I sometimes forget Asmo 0. I don't know, we're like never beating this draw. We drew with 11 months, thank you. Good games though. At least game 1 was like surprisingly good. I said this since the card was spoiled. Like the first time you lose because Not Dead After All is Not Dead After All and not Feign Death, it's gonna be really annoying. And I was right. Another successful prediction. The explosives does kill the Wicked roll, yeah. So then a little bit of a downside there. Just play Saga Cookbook and try to go turn 3 Manufactor, tap Cookbook. Tap Cookbook again, get 2 treasures, and if we just don't draw a land, we don't draw a land and lose. But we also have, 4 Goose, 4 Stirrings. 4 Goose, 3 Stirrings, 4 Mini Partings, so we do have a lot of top deck mana sources. Picked up 4 Up the Beanstalk because of me. My influence is so strong. I'm surprised you're crediting me for that. I feel like everybody likes Up the Beanstalk cards really good. Singer with the 19 months. Thank you. Oh, it's also, you know, uncommon. It is nice. Most of the good new cards in the sets are just uncommons. There's a few rares and stuff, of course. Well, let's draw that land, shall we? Yeah, I went to go buy cauldrons today, and they're like $30. I'm like, fuck. I haven't bought any new cards for the new set. What's the reason behind Tournament Saga? Were you watching? I'm trying to draw land so I can go get a cookbook and then go manufacture or tap 2 cookbooks on turn 3. I think drawing Finale is like one of the main cards that like maybe makes me want to wait. But obviously this wasn't in my opening hand. But I definitely said exactly that. Could be good to gain 3 life here. Let's not. So you scored the 38 months. Thank you. Now with the Twitch Prime, thank you as well. Getting iced? Ugh. We weren't drawing the land anyways. Well, the Goose is really nice. We're up against Rhinos, and if we can resolve Finale for Asmo with double Cookbook Ovalchase, that's going to be something that just buys infinite time. Also, if we draw a land, we get to go Manufactor, Cookbook, Finale, Killer board. Net with the Twitch Prime, thank you. I'm watching Minguchi's content these days. I really don't consume like any like non-Twitch Magic content these days. It's just I'm here all day, and I'm talking about the game. I like to engage with other games off stream usually. I do tune into Magic streams though, but. And then like Minguchi's like schedule is really tough for me. I only ever get to tune into Minguchi's stream when I have like really bad insomnia. It just happens sometimes. For the qualifier bingo, we dropped at 4-2 or 5-2. I can't remember. I think it was 4-2. We lost to Tron. We lost to a really good Rhinos draw too. Let's cast it. Obviously tap land awkward. Whenever I try to tune in with Legacy, it's tough. It is very, very difficult to brew in a format that you don't play regularly. Even though like at one point I considered myself to be like a Legacy expert, a like storm specialist, very good with blue decks, like somewhat good at making small innovations. This was years and years ago though. I at one point I considered myself to be this in Legacy. At this point like Legacy is like just unrecognizable to me. Like the way I tune into Honorog streams and I just like don't recognize a ton of the cards. The gameplay is super different from the gameplay that I used to play, and like I think that a lot of my old Legacy habits are just out of date. And Legacy is a format that is very complicated, very intricate, has a lot of history, and is a bad format to try to brew in if you're not expert level in it. And like I really wanted to play some Mind's Desire stuff. We may still play some Mind's Desire gaming, but it is like this is also like what happens when I try to brew in Pioneer and Modern at the same time. Like it takes me like weeks and weeks to get back into Pioneer to like understand what's happening in the format at the time and like what I need to be doing to innovate in it. And Pioneer is a much simpler format and one that I'm like much more familiar with these days. Yeah, I have heard that Storm is pretty good again these days, but it's also like I'm not really at the spot in my career where I'm just like getting into. I should probably bottom this. I have a Took, has a very similar effect here. I'm not really like playing formats just because they're fun. Like, I have fun playing Modern, but I also have fun because I'm like innovating and trying new stuff. This is how I just like don't get burned out on Magic, because the way I engage with the game is building new decks and trying new things and trying to innovate every single day. For me, this is what I like to do when it comes to Magic. And when it comes to Legacy, I just cannot feel the same thing at the moment, and it's hard for me to like casually engage with a format when my job is innovating on Magic decks. Like, this is, you know, my career. Is Cauldron something for the Unctus deck? Yeah, maybe. We're going to be doing a lot more Cauldron brewing. I have we put together a Shieldred Gristlebrand Goryo's deck, where you can turn your Shieldred into a Gristlebrand. That deck looks pretty dang reasonable. How about his Huntman's Redemption? I'm not familiar with that one. If you want to type exclamation point card Huntsman Redemption, I will read it though. They have 3 cards in their hand. Saga is a good draw. I think we go for Took over Ring, which is definitely speaks to the draw power of this card. Do you ever see a deck and go, "That's sick, try it"? Yes, sometimes. So it's not super common that I'll be like, "This is super sick, let's try it." When I do, like, this has happened. Like, it happened recently with Dak Faden's like Grixis Shadow list. Like, that, this was the last, like, the Murktides. This is the last time I was like, wow, this is like a super innovative, interesting list, and I haven't really seen this take do well before. I really want to try it, and that was the last time I was like, I want to try this on stream. You know, it does happen sometimes, but it doesn't happen super often anymore. And when it does happen, I like to, you know, obviously highlight it. Dak Faden 07 on Twitter. I actually don't know if Dak does stream. I think I follow Dak on Twitch too, but like is constantly like posting cool lists and ideas. Definitely a good follow on Twitter. There was one recently that I saw that I thought looked pretty cool from Dak. Also, I can't remember. But Bowmaster. Well, yeah. So that was one too. Yeah, that was another one. I mean, I did like completely like scrap the deck and build it from scratch, but. That is true. Like, a lot of times it'll be like taking some ideas and iterating on them, and I like to go over the deck tech too when that happens. It's like a little bit of a different thing than just like taking the list and playing it. Streamers really post YouTube videos almost daily. It's really interesting approach. I feel like it's so easy to get burned out on YouTube, where like you're just talking to no one for hours. I feel like when I used to record YouTube only content, I would just go crazy. It just drove me crazy to do. All right, see if they have a force. It's really not so bad if they have a force. These Rhinos draws where they just have no pressure are usually pretty unimpressive. Okay, Huntsman's Redemption. Oh, that card. So I talked about... Oh, I didn't talk about that card in my YouTube video. That card was actually in the Lost to History radar card section on my YouTube video that somehow it didn't make it into the cut. I like that card. The problem is, like, it mostly would go into a Yawgmoth style deck where you have lots of creatures you want to sacrifice for value, but the problem is it's not high enough power level for the Yawgmoth deck. And so Huntsman Redemption is a powerful card that I think is going to be suboptimal in Modern, and I think that it's unlikely that you have like a good reason to play a deck with it over Yawgmoth. But I could, with like a good enough idea, like I could be convinced otherwise. Copper the 4 months. Saw your video the other way. Say they're One Ring Woo Pongers. Which video? I don't know. That was maybe a YouTube title. Gloom definitely likes the clickbaity YouTube titles. Okay, so let's cast Mini Partings. I'm a little bit worried about a Force of Negation. If they have Force of Negation, I just take 8. It's pretty tough. So I think I'm supposed to go for double Finale to play around it instead of instead of casting Knight of Sweet's Revenge, despite Knight of Sweet's Revenge being an incredibly powerful play this turn. Is Beanstalk a good card with Heartless Summoning? I don't think so. Like, if your deck is built right, okay, I'm going to draw a Beanstalk, resolve it. Pass the turn. Draw a Cookbook, resolve it. Pass the turn. And then, resolve Heartless Summoning, pass the turn. Then on turn 4, you're going to be sorry. I'm going to draw a couple cards. Just not really a deck, you know what I mean? Alright, let's run it back. Think Soul Cauldron could work in a Heliod Shell. I do actually think it could work in a Heliod Shell. I should probably put that on the sticky note too. So I should say this. Soul Cauldron is much better than I expected it to be. Also in Brewing we get a lot of ideas from chat. Hard to overstate. I really wish you could tag chatters. Like, I would love if I could just put suggested Heliod Cauldron, like, and then you just get that as a tag in the channel. I think that would be awesome if you could have like a written badge next to your name. That would be really cool. I would love that. How did Hard and Scales games go yesterday? It went well. I like the Scales deck. You know, it was kind of a classic Modern tournament, playing well, and you know, having a good deck. But we lost to a pretty bad matchup in Tron. And then we lost to a really ridiculous Rhinos draw, where they had like, it was crazy. They went like Force of Vigor, my Saga Springleaf Drum, into Interact With Me, into like Rhinos, into Subtlety Rhinos, into something else. Like, but what's crazy was I was still competing with all of that until like, so there was some last card that put it over the top. Yeah, anyone with suggested otherworldly gaze gets banned. Have I seen this? I feel very strongly you should be playing Nissa instead of Kahira in these decks. I think Nissa is like just so important with Beanstalk. But this looks very cool. This looks very cool indeed. Like I would probably be just like, I might even be like just Nissa over Ring. Like, they're both card advantage engines, but like Nissa is very good with the Time Warp Beanstalk plan. And Ring is also like kind of awkward with the Beanstalk plan. Sounds pretty interesting. I've been really liking mini partings too. Yeah, but it looks like a good like first draft, you know. Can we do warp ephemerate loops? Yeah, maybe like it. So I have in the past like the general shell of I've liked the general shell of, what's the card? Cosmic Rebirth, Nissa, Ephemerate, Eternal Witness. I've had some success with that engine. I don't know how that engine works with Beanstalk, or if you could fit it in a deck like this. So if you go cut 4 Omnath, cut 4 Ring, although you would maybe want some number of Omnath. Yeah, you would want some Omnath. You don't have to play 4 though. 2 Omnath, 4 Ring. It's not very clean to add. I mean, you could cut the prismatic endings, honestly. You could go cut the prismatic endings, although we're light on red cards as it is. This list is super light on red cards. Oh no, it's 11. Sorry, I thought it was 7. It's fine. Maybe Doom. I don't know. I for me, I really only want to be playing like Eternal Witness loops if that's what I'm doing with it though. If I'm using Cosmic Rebirth. Do not love having to use my mini partings here, but I think it's worth it to be able to play the second goose here, get the second green for finale. Mr. Sari, the 32 months, thank you. What are Sweets revenging from? I think that the flavor on Night of Sweets Revenge is that, like, you know, we as the human race eat candy. We eat candy. And so the sweets are getting revenge on us by eating us, is what I assume the flavor is. And thank you for the resub, Mr. Sari. I looked at Teamer Prowess. I did see the red green one. I have not built a Teamer Prowess deck. I think that red green is better than Teamer. Like, I haven't cast Elusive Otter, but I think Elusive Otter is worse than the other creatures you can play at this point. So You know, maybe we'll get around to it, but that's my current take. I'm gonna pitch Flame of Anor, which means I can't kill a Rhino this turn. Oh yeah, it was the second. It was to circle back to the Rhinos game. It was the second Force of Vigor that we couldn't beat. It was crazy that we were even in contention after first Force of Vigor into interaction spell into Rhinos into Rhino subtlety. Like we were still competitive in that game, which is, you know, maybe a testimony to the strength of scales. That's on Cauldron plus Grist plus Combined Guildmage. Goes infinite with both pieces to be under Cauldron. I'll read Combined Guildmage. I would guess that it's just like worse than regular Yawgmoth. Like just play Yawgmoth with Cauldron instead is almost always going to be the answer for a deck that wants to play Grist and Cauldron. Yeah, but don't you have to have the Combined Guildmage in play? Like you. Oh no, it's an activated ability. Yeah, I mean that's cool. I think some people were wondering if you could build. They should have attacked with Agent. I think bluffing Violent Outburst is probably correct. Didn't Caleb try? Yeah, maybe Caleb tried it. It sounds very fun. Like I am unable to deny how fun that sounds. Second Manufactor. We're gonna have to discard one of them. They have a subtlety? They don't have a subtlety. Well, let's pass. The big upside of the Guildmage is that it can be under the Cauldron and can be just a one-of as a core target. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just like you have to splash blue in your Yawgmoth shell. Like it kind of reminds me of Hapatra, where like Hapatra is a really, really good 2-mana core target, but it's just like it's a terrible draw, and you know you can afford some of these terrible draws in these kind of decks like Dryad Arbor, but you just can't play that many of them. But I do like the idea is not bad, but this is kind of the reality of like a lot of creature-based combos in Modern. It's like you like always have to ask yourself, what is this deck doing better than Yawgmoth? Which is like, you know, my hot take for a long time has been, you know, Reddit and people online, they always say Fury is pushing all of these creature decks out of Modern. It's really that like Yawgmoth is the best creature combo deck, and Hammer is the best like affinity style aggro deck, and then Burn is like a pretty unique style. You know, Burn is a burn deck. You know, there's very established best decks of these archetypes, which I think pushes out other strategies of these archetypes more so than Fury does. Because like, why would you play a worse deck in the same archetype if you're trying to be competitive? Is what I'm trying to say. My Okoko Sack deck used to be good with Agatha. Could be good with Agatha. I don't think so. I don't know. Like even like if you have any activated abilities in that deck. Maybe they drew Violent Outburst. They did draw Violent Outburst. They didn't have it last turn, so I thought not playing around it here was fine. Didn't you have Grist and Fulminator? Sure. I don't know. I mean, the decks, I build a lot of decks. I could not remember what it is you're trying to get at with it. How do we get out of this? So we go get a cookbook, play a Manufactor. Discard Wooded Foothills. Cast an Asmo. Yeah. We have to sack a food to cast the Asmo, which kind of sucks. Oh, I can sack the treasure. Yeah, just sack the treasure. We'll discard the second cookbook, also. Thing is, I am going to be one... One food short of double activation, so I'll kill one, block 2 with the geese. You can go to 2 against them pretty easy in these kind of games. Could also see sack treasure, sack food, make a food, just because that's one extra clue, but it's kind of a little bit weaker to like Asmo getting removed in response. No EE? No EE in this deck, in our Asmo construct deck? Or what? Go to 2, die to fire. Yeah, I'd prefer just to block with both geese and not die to fire ice. Okay, I guess we're killing that one. And then what? So I always kill this. I will be netting one clue, I guess, if I can figure out a best line to survive. Go to 2. I guess I should just double block a rhino with these 2, and then keep either Asmo or Manufactor, then figure it out. Have outs or both, a bit easier. They're gonna leave me with the Manufactor, I would suppose. So when Devoted Druid, Heliod, Yawgmoth, yeah, kind of. Yeah, best creature combo deck went Devoted Druid, Heliod, Yawgmoth. And I can't remember a time in Modern where there were like 2 really viable creature-based combo decks like this at the same time. It just kind of has never happened, I think. Because like these decks are just so similar. Like Sam Combo is another good example. Sam Combo is also like a very good deck, but it's just not as good as Yawgmoth is my, thinking at the moment. Ah, man. Could do some really good stuff if we just had like a Daredevil. What happens if we draw Daredevil? I mean, oh, whoops, I meant to sack a clue. I guess I can just discard this. Discard this, sack another food. And then if I draw Daredevil, we have some outs maybe? Maybe not. Wasn't it better to go to 1 and keep a goose? Couldn't you kill one Rhino with Asmo? I killed Questing Beast with Asmo this turn. Questing Beast is way better to kill than Rhino. I couldn't kill a second thing. Yeah, Twin is more like creativity. That's like a spell-based combo deck. Yeah, maybe probably gonna have to go to game 3. Too late, I think. We can only sack 1 food here. 1 mana short of sacking 2, but even that's not quite enough. Okay, game 3. Cool game. Oh yeah, Pod before Devoted Druid, of course. But yeah, like despite like what general perception is, it's kind of funny because like you really just have like every traditional creature-based aggro archetype represented in Modern. It's just like, it's Merfolk instead of humans now. Merfolk is really good. Scales instead of Affinity. Hammer instead of Infect. Yawgmoth instead of Pod. It's like... It's really like all of the same classic Modern archetypes represented. It's just not... They're just not the same, so people are like, ah, Fury. At least that's my general perception. Could you have drawn into Asmo there? I don't think so. We tried Sandwith with Ring. That was our first draft, Steelseeker over Ring. The problem is if you play Steelseeker, you have to play Scrapwork Mutt. You have to play Mutt. Because you have to be able to dig for a thing and then draw it immediately. And so, like, I really want to play Mini Partings. Mini Partings, I think, is very important on your combo turns. Have a density of 1 mana, make a food, as well as being very good early. And so I think it makes sense to play Ring instead. Ring has also just been good in general, but I think it will take some time to develop some. Already classic counter control deck. So they said, yeah, both blue-white control and the Waffo style, like you can literally play Snapcaster Mage right now. It's crazy. Like Waffo has been doing so good with Snapcaster decks. You have blue-white control, Dimir control, Snapcaster, like blue-red X control too. Like they're all viable. Turn 0 Lorien revealed. Call that a tap land. Ooh. Man, when Rhinos draws like this, it's just always so gross. Just like... we'll see the rest of the draw, but, you know, turn 0 Lorien reveal, turn 1 Fire Ice, just it's always such a good start. Or draw's good too. Like we do need to draw a land or Asmo, or Manufactor. I guess we have a lot of good draws. Any further thoughts on Stirrings? Still kind of formulating an opinion. I like them though. They enable consistency in this archetype in a way that I've really wanted to for a long time. We have 2 Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Despite not being able to like really multi-spell with it, I think if they're going to force one of these 2 things, I would rather it be the first one of this. If they're just going to if they're going to not Violent Outburst plus Force, this is also pretty good. Charmal! Turn 3 Charmal! Damn. Man, I thought the Urza Saga was a really good draw. Ended up being not nearly as good there as I would have hoped. Manufactor is really nice in this matchup. It's got 3 toughness, so dodges, Dead Gone, Fire Ice. They made a reprint of Dark Confidant, but it was a 1/2. Would it be playable? I don't know. Maybe. Like, one thing is, it's like, you could play Dark Confidant, or you could play the fucking One Ring as your card advantage engine in your mono black decks. And you probably don't want to play the 2 cards together. It would be maybe playable, though. You've certainly correctly identified that it is the 1 toughness. That's really the problem there. I'm itching for this Manufacturer to resolve. Okay, we're not doing anything. Although it's very bad if they also have Violent Outburst here. Dark Confidant died with Bowmasters. That is not true. That is not true that Dark Confidant died with Bowmasters. Dark Confidant died with Rinnin 6 like 3 years before. Yeah, so I guess this is fine for us to just not block, since if they have Violent Outburst, this is 12 power. If they have Violent Outburst, it's +3, which I don't think they have 2 Violent Outbursts in their hand. It doesn't make any sense for them to have like, no, I guess they maybe just didn't have a blue card for Force. But we can gain life off of our foods, and we can gain life, you know, whenever. Wait, why do I have 4 treasures? Should I not have 3? Did I already have 1? I thought I had 0. Did I not have 0 treasures to start this turn? Had 1 already. Okay, so maybe I should have tapped main phase and tried to play a 4-drop. Need food, not treasure on the menu. What? Okay, I know menu is manufactor. I got that part at least. Okay, that makes things a little harder. I weirdly think we're ahead, despite my opponent having turn 0 Gemstone Caverns Lore Revealed, Ice my turn 1 play. Then they didn't do anything. They just forced my thing after that. Charm all my land. Rhinos. It is crazy how much like this deck can just overpower. Yeah. Goose is positive mana. I think I'll probably draw a card. I know I'm at 1, but I have enough mana to gain life. I have some really good cards to draw here too. Holy shit. I think I wait though. There's not really a difference between using the treasures now and next turn besides subtlety. Yeah, can't do anything. I can't make any more food or anything, so we can't keep going this turn. Cycle's Lore revealed. No, they don't have Questing Beast. Well, they could have just cast it, I guess. Questing Beast does beat us. It would be a very sad loss. Gab, thanks for the raid. We got some game objects in play today. Got pro everything. Hope you're doing well. Good luck at Worlds, by the way. Good luck at Worlds. Gab. We're in the middle of a crazy game where my opponent went Caverns, Lore Revealed, Ice my turn 1 play, Force my turn 3, Night of Sweet's Revenge into Charm all my Saga, Rhinos. We're just like weirdly ahead anyways. So you don't want to play Saga on these turns, you want to try to cabin a food into play. I even think I just discard Saga to not deal with the triggers. Or the Daredevil triggers, it's like 27 triggers or something like that. Yeah, of course we could hear there are thousands of permanents in play. Yeah, so we had 4 of these in play earlier, and it took a long time to resolve the triggers. I don't know. It was a while. I'm probably supposed to finale for a Peregrin Took and break Magic Online, but opponent's just conceding, so. Catch you finale for 10. I mean, I can finale for 10, but like I think it's better to just not walk super face first into a force negation. Like I think it's better. Like finale for 5 also definitively wins the game. Yeah, like I think just not walk. Probably lead on mini parting. So if I draw finale, I can Asmo. Mini partings has also been really good. It's like it's very good all the turns are going off. It's very good early. So kind of exactly what you want this kind of effect to be. Assassin's Trophy is against Tron. It's nice that it kills the Tron lands and Karn. I hate Assassin's Trophy. I really don't like registering that card. But I do think like our options are to just concede to Tron or play like 4 of the best sideboard card. And that is the best sideboard card. If you cast Imri while they have protection from the ring, can you kill them? If you cast Imri while they have protection from ring, can you kill them on your initial turn? Oh, Emrakul. No, because they still have protection, but you get to annihilate or 6 them. Which I would guess gets the job done. Yeah, maybe best to not abbreviate a magic card with the name of another playable modern card. Is a single cat oven bad here if you need to grind a game out? We've had no issues closing games or grinding games out. Even like games where my 4-color Omnath opponent has access to everything they can possibly desire, the games are just not closed. Even if we have, it's okay to just pass. Make when they tap out for the ring, you just make infinite value. You overvalue the ring, and then you just win. Oh, no scam. Man, you're always like, oh, they evoke grief. You're like, oh, I hate this stupid card. It's so good. What is Wizards thinking? And then they just don't scam it. You're like, oh, right. Oh, and then they persist, and you're like, oh, grief. Stupid grief. I probably will not cast mini partings next turn. Well, I guess with this draw I will. But I'm thinking like I would like to trigger the Manufactor twice, but now they're on 2 cards. I think we'll just go like Took and then into Manufactor or vice versa. You know, I will say this too, like this whole Manufactor stuff, the game objects meme, make infinite game objects. When your food tokens are not just stupid food tokens and they're Mox Emeralds, and the thing that's making the Mox Emeralds also gives you like a Crater Hoof effect. Everything just feels so much more potent now. Okay, Thoughtseize, Persist Grief into turn 3 Fable. Good draw. They're definitely, you know, a Rescamator variant. How does Took work with Manufactor? If you have both of them in play, you get 2 of each. Do you think I'm going to go for the Cabin? We can play the Saga after, of course. Yeah, and the fact that, what's also crazy is that Knight of Sweets, in the turns where you're going crazy, Knight of Sweets Revenge, like, just makes mana. Just because it's 4 mana make a food is a good card on the on the turns you're going off, funny enough. How much better is Sweet Revenge than Urza? Much better. It's so weird to say this, but like unironically, Knight of Sweet Revenge is much better than Urza, Lord High Artificer. One of them is a 25-cent uncommon from a standard set. One of them is a Modern Horizons mythic, but it's an enchantment. It's an enchantment instead of a creature, and it wins the game. And it's also being green is better than blue because of Cabin, and you know all the other green food cards. So ring would be nice. Wouldn't say no to a Manufactor. Wouldn't say no to a Cookbook. Urza was never good. It was good when Astrolabe and Mox Hope were legal, but since then has not been good. Brant, Twitch Prime to Tier 1, thank you. Is there Knight of Sweets Revenge without Finale? I haven't built one, but for the most part, you will want to play those 2 cards together because you're going to be a Gingerbread Cabin mana base. You're going to be a Gingerbread Cabin food mana base, which you're going to want Finale. If like the double green is just super easy. I know the card is like randomly really expensive. I believe that when I bought them, the Japanese copies were like $7 less or something than the English copies. So I have Japanese Finales. But yeah, they're pretty pricey. Okay, down to 7. They have a fresh card in their hand. It is a spell, of course. They like mind numbing. Oh, sorry. Not they had the tech first. Never mind. Sorry. Okay, so we're looking for a ring, I guess. Looking for a ring. Now pretty dead. Oh, never mind. Now ahead. Finale is under 20 with the new Commander reprint. Oh man, I might want to buy those honestly. Like these ones, these like look I think a lot better, and I don't really like non-English cards, especially like ones with lots of text like this. I would recommend not playing Food Fight, but it could maybe end up playing better than I would expect. Yeah, I did find out why I don't have Yavimaya in the deck. Let me finish taking this turn real quick, and I'll explain it. It was like a thought process we had in the past that I had kind of forgotten. But the thought process was you would basically always rather just have a fetch land instead. If all of your lands are forests or Urza Saga, like Yavimaya doesn't really help make... Like, there are going to be some games where Yavimaya helps with Urza Saga. Like, you go Yavimaya Saga Finale, like, that'll be nice. But, ooh. So punished for main phasing the Asmo. Not very used to playing around Persist. Should have realized it. We are not dead, but instead of being in very good position, we are in need of another top deck. Should have played around Persist though. Although it's not like we're, you know, we still get this second main phase. We just take a little bit more damage. And so like so in this deck that wants a lot of basic forest for mini partings, like I think you want 4 basic forests for your mini partings, and you want Gingerbread Cabin and you want Saga. I think you just want to fetch land instead of Yavimaya. You just want to be able to fetch. It just kind of competes a little bit too much with the fetches. Yavimaya lets you hold fetches to your cabin later. Yeah, like there are some spots for it, but I would just rather play a fetch land is what I'm trying to say over any Yavimayas. Okay, let's draw another Asmo, I guess. What did you play? Yeah, I played it. I was trying to play around Feign Death or Not Dead After All because like that's what I'm used to playing around. But obviously there's Rescam and Mater instead of typical Scam. So I'll bring in the Graveyard Hate. Trip of Stirrings. Everything seems pretty good against them. Trip of Stirrings is weird when I'm bringing in Colas Graveyard Hate too, but I like mini partings is like uncuttable. It's just a land or hard to cut. Gilded Goose is good. Like if it dies, you just. I guess it's worse against the Furies. Maybe go down to 1 Stirrings. Trim a Goose. Maybe the other way around. It is like usually I like Goose against like Murktide. Like you're really happy if they just bolt the Goose. Like you're up a food, they're down a card. But again, you can play maybe a little bit too much into Fury with this card. Yeah, I think you could trim a Knight. The Knight is also really strong, and it's also like our deck's built around it, and it's also kind of like it's a new card. I want to be testing it some more. But I could see that being right. How do you kill? You either activate Knight's Streets of Revenge to pump your team, or you Finale for a ton to pump your team. Honestly, like the haste is a little bit more relevant on the Finale than the pump, although like the pump is nice. But like what's nice about Finale is you can win the same if you combo off, you can win on an empty board. If you start the turn with an empty board, you don't need a creature without Summoning Sickness. And I love that about this deck is that like you just don't have to play. You don't have to like waste slots in your deck on win conditions. Always Spellbomb turn 1 against Scam. Like you don't have to like I have to play a stupid Thassa's Oracle in my deck. I don't have to play Cauldron Familiar Oven. You just need the good cards to combo kill with. It's always a dynamic I try to go for in decks like this. Like. That's one thing I really like about Karn the Great Creator is that, okay, hoping they name Spellbomb and not Cookbook. It is tough to win without your cookbooks. Yeah, trophies are anti-Tron card. Okay, they do name the Spellbomb. Okay, I do need to draw 1 more land too. Because it's just so hard to have dead cards in your modern deck, you know what I mean? It is hard to have dead cards in your modern deck. With Rundrum. And 1 drop main decks you can drop 4. And is this like? I know. I consider playing a main deck drum. We don't have as many creatures as I usually play. You would probably have to cut a land for it, or a stirrings. That could be fine. Both 8 months. Thank you. There have been some spots where I would have wanted it, of course. Oh, sorry. I needed to make a food in response. Okay. Was reading the comment. If you want Trophy for Tron, can besiege you take that slot because you can sequence after. Well, the thing is, Trophy just kills Karn the Great Creator and kills Tron lands. It just does like exactly. I hate Assassin's Trophy. I really like don't want to be playing it, but it does exactly what you need your anti-Tron sideboard card to do. You keep them off Tron and keep them off Karn. Those are the 2 things that you want to be doing. They take a ring, and then... Are they going to Voidwalker a ring? Are they going to persist? They are going to persist. There's a needle on the Spellbomb. They attack instead of casting the ring. It's kind of, I don't know. I guess like the Voidwalker also is cutting off the Daredevil. Maybe that's just the. Maybe that just is correct. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this cookbook so I can play around further discard. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was right or not for them to attack. I don't know. It's an interesting line. It depends on their hand, obviously. I think it definitely like implies that they have a strong follow-up to this in their hand. What are the pros and cons of this green-black version over red-green? Well, I mean, the colors matter less than, like I'm just so... The thing is, Steelseeker is good. You have to play Scrapwork Mutt with it. The thing is, Mini Partings weirdly ends up just being a card that is... Mini Partings is a card that's like actually very important to have on your combo turns, to have a density of 1 mana make a food card. And Mini Partings is also good, the fact that it's good early and good on your combo turns is such a big deal. It's a consistency enabler. Alright, let's back in. Despite being 2-2, the deck is feeling really good. Opponents have been, drawing pretty well. 1-1 against Scam this league, I guess. Or did we lose to Scam in round 2? I can't remember. And then I also have a little bit of mini partings. Okay, we'll put back Asmo. Put us in a mold of 5. Any further interest in working Gruul Team of Prowess? This question drew deck last week. I mean, a little bit. Like, I think the deck is good. I think Questing Druid is good. It's also, I don't know how interesting it is, like, to work on a ton of, like, very small, variations of the prowess deck. It's kind of one that I'm more or less happy just to put out there and encourage people to mess with it themselves if they like it. Thoughts on Caller and the 2 scales list from yesterday? I think that it's probably worse than Shadow Spear, but I need to, like, chew on it some more. Because to me, like, I care about the trample. I care about the trample a lot on the Shadow Spear. There's a lot of situations where... like the trample on the Patchwork Automaton or like trample on like a big Ravager is really key. I don't really feel like Death Touch on Ballista matters as much, and even if it does end up mattering a lot, like, does it matter more than the trample? So those are the questions you have to answer. I like that people are trying it. I like seeing people try to innovate, but My having not played the card in a long time, I think that I would still rather have Shadow Spear. I think the Agathos Cauldron hype is real. Cauldron is very good in scales. I think it's good in Yawgmoth, and I think it has a lot of brew potential. I think that I think that you will want to play 2 or 3 Cauldrons in scales going forward. I'm not sure the number. You really don't want to draw 2 most of the time. And with Stirrings, you can dig for it pretty deep. Kind of compare that to the One Ring. You do actually want to draw multiple copies of the ring. It's just a weird dynamic. Do I wait on the Took? I think I actually wait on the Took here. Maybe just play a Cookbook. And then next turn I will have a lot more food already in play if I'm not killing rhinos. I can go Took, Cabin, Cookbook, draw a bunch of cards. Yeah. With Heliod, it seems pretty appealing. I definitely want to try to spend some time working on that. What's very cool about Cauldron and Heliod too is you can have your fetchable planes that can put a counter on something to make your Cauldron better. Also, turning stuff into a Ranger Captain seems interesting. There's a lot to like. Sorry, my headphones are fucking up. But loving one made a copy of Endurance. Decking is actually possible with Beanstalk. Has utility against Graveyard decks. Seems solid. I don't know. I have not come close to decking. I honestly and I say this just to engage intellectually. I think if you are decking yourself with this deck, you're messing up. It's just very easy to do 200 trample haste. Where how are you decking? You have a lot of redundancy to that too. I say this a lot. I am very resistant to playing cards that don't facilitate your deck's game plan. In these kind of strategies. If the card's purpose is to stop you from decking, even if it is a real risk, I'm resistant to wanting to play it. But I also don't actually feel like it's a super common thing. Ooh, Binding plus Violent Outburst is a very good turn here. One of Endurance will make game against Titan. Again, I'm just trying. If you could elaborate more on what the dynamic of the game was. I'm not trying to dismiss you, but I am trying to understand. I'm trying to understand what these games look like, where you need to recycle your deck. Can't play the Knight first, I think. It's a good pickup. We're gonna have to do some. We're gonna second food for 1 food for life. We probably have to block with our goose also. Didn't we blow up our beanstalks before to avoid decking? Up the beanstalk? That's a different deck. We don't have up the beanstalk in the stack. So 2 cards in their hand. We're beating a lot of it. A lot of things they can have here. Can't beat Force. I guess we lose to a lot. We lose to a lot of stuff. So with the Beanstalk deck? Oh, you're talking about Bant Beanstalk. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can play it there. Sorry, that was my confusion. I wildly thought we were talking about the deck we were playing. My mistake. I think we're supposed to play this. It doesn't really make much sense to play around Force at this point, I would guess. Do I want to play a second one here? I think I'll play a second one. Don't think I need to gain any life here. Could maybe draw a card off the Took. We have a lot of 1 mana. We have a lot of 1 mana make a food cards, and also if my Took dies, I need to this is kind of insurance for Took dying. Just like getting a little bit deeper in the deck. Okay, pass back. Should draw before tapping books. Not in this spot where I cannot possibly play another Manufactor, right? Or could, if I could have, I should have, but I thought I couldn't. I guess I could have though, because I played it. I could have. I should have. Yeah, you're right. They don't have another Violent Outburst, right? They would have played that on their turn, I thought. Oh, Subtlety. Yeah, I beat that one. Kind of confused that they're playing it here, because like I have Pro Everything. Maybe they have Questing Beast, but I would lose to that anyways. Yeah. When people talk about endurance, I thought we were talking about this deck. The endurance is, yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry. There's too many beans in Modern. Well, don't know how we lose. One in Clumpy. I think it's not necessary. Like we're gonna attack for like 300 this turn or something. 300 haste on all our creatures. You just don't need it. Okay. All these for green. Guess I didn't need to do that yet. I mean, it's just gonna be relatively trivial. I don't know. Maybe they'll concede to Asmo. But it says that's a lot of food, man. It's a lot of Mox Emeralds, actually. Okay, so they didn't concede to this. Let's start drawing. I shouldn't do this. Let's be bad. Let's be bad. Yeah, is the stack empty? I feel like we've resolved... Yeah, we've done this before. How do you play this in paper? You need to have like a cheat sheet or... you need to have the formulas memorized, I guess. Lots of dice. Yeah, Daybreak Games is like, please, Spike, please stop registering Academy Manufactor. Our servers are dying. So we're looking for a finale. I literally think this is gonna break Magic Online. Please, Spike. Oh no, I don't have a. Where's my? Oh, I already have this other one in play. I actually think it's not gonna work. I don't think Magic Online can resolve this trigger. I don't even know. I don't know if am I is this clicking accomplishing anything? Is there like a stack automatically? I have that clicked. Can Magic Online. Ah, they don't. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I think I'm supposed to be clicking on all this. I don't know. Like earlier I had to click on it all, but they started to go away eventually. Okay, let's just let it go for a second. We'll give it some time. Like it takes like 30 seconds to resolve with 3 manufacturers in a Took, so what it should take like 9 minutes to resolve. You have to assign the replacements. That's what I'm trying to do. Is pressing 7 stack them all? 7 didn't work. Or wait, they're shrinking. It's shrinking. It's working. It's working. The triggers are going away. The triggers are leaving. Okay, and so this is the one that actually takes a long time. Spike, please. Daybreak servers are gonna burn on fire. Shaq of 22 months. Thank you. Can we resolve the trigger with 4 manufacturers in a Took? I actually don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna break. I don't actually think it's gonna work. I've seen a few people on Twitter complain about motor running slowly. Yeah, I'm taking all the server space for myself. We have to give it some time. And so with one less manufactor, it takes like 30 seconds to resolve. So it's gonna. If it's gonna resolve, it's gonna have to. We're gonna have to give it some time. Yeah! Yes! Yes! We did it! Yeah! Yes! Let's go. Oh, man. So, Magic Online is trying to correct the board state here. A fun little replay of how we got here. I'm probably just going to concede the match. Oh, I can't type. Okay, well. Wait, what? Okay, cannot chat either. Yeah, hi, that's me. You're probably wondering how we got here. This is all turn 6? Yeah, this is just a nice victory lap. Yeah, I feel bad for my opponent. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to cast the 4th manufactor. I didn't have to cast it, but I did just to see what would happen. So we found out. But the content, you can only create so much content on any given day. They can continue anytime. I just feel bad, you know what I mean? I just feel bad. I can't believe Magic Online is even like lagging this much on the replay. This is still the replay? Okay, it's still, we're still going. I just couldn't help myself. So yeah, so in theory here, Magic Online will either restart the game again or resolve the trigger successfully. So if it starts the game again, we'll concede. My opponent has sent me a message. You crashed my... You crashed my photo. I can't even type. How is my Magic Online not crashed? I can't even type. I'm so sorry. I really wanted to resolve the trigger. They said, nah, it's hilarious, all good. Also, I love your Twitch channel, and I'm gonna subscribe after this. Is the stack empty? I've done this before, really? I don't remember breaking. Okay, we literally have broken it. We have broken it. Literally. It is no longer clickbait. If in the title of this YouTube video I go, I broke Modern, I broke Magic, I broke it. Literally broke it. Oklahoma, Twitch Prime, thank you. What exactly is causing this? I had 4 Academy Manufacturers and a Peregrin Took in play, and then I just tried to make one food. I tried to make one food and Magic Online crashes. The client just can't handle anything. I have 5 3-drops in play and I try to make a food. What's the problem? So if no one concedes what happens, I guess it just does that infinitely until one of the timers times out.